All right. So, have you ever thought about like what if Instagram, existed back in the Stone Age?
Okay, now that's a an interesting thought,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure I'm following.
So we're going to take a deep dive into what kind of influencers might have been like rock stars,
Great.
back in those days.
I'm listening.
It sounds crazy, but stick with me,
Yeah.
okay? So we're talking like thousands of years ago when, survival was the name of the game, right? Information spread through like, I don't know, tribal networks.
Yeah.
And life was pretty tough.
Yeah. I got you.
But even then, people had needs and desires and
Yeah.
ways of, influencing each other. And
Yeah.
we've got a ton of research articles about Stone Age life and even, how they communicated back then.
Uh-huh.
So let's picture, for a second, who would be the big influencers.
All right, I like where this is going.
So think about it. In the Stone Age,
Yeah.
one of the most important things you could do was like start a fire.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right. So imagine someone like, Firestarter OG,
Okay.
the ultimate survival guru, right?
Makes sense.
I mean, in a world without, lighters and matches, this person would be,
Essential.
yeah, a lifesaver. Literally, they'd be
Yeah.
keeping people alive by knowing how to create fire.
Yeah, but wouldn't everyone, back then, wouldn't they all know how to do that?
Well, yeah, but it's not just about having the knowledge, right? It's
Right.
about being able to share it,
Mhm.
effectively to build a reputation, gain the trust of your community.
Mhm.
So maybe this Firestarter G, maybe they come up with a new technique.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a faster way to make a spark or something, or maybe they're just super charismatic,
Oh, so like
and they become like the go-to person.
the expert.
Exactly, for anything fire related.
Right.
And think about it.
Yeah.
That kind of social capital, that would be, incredibly valuable back then.
Yeah, just like it is today. It's all about who you know and who trusts you and who's going to look to you for guidance.
It's amazing how, those dynamics still hold true, even after all these years.
It reminds me of all those survivalists you see online today.
Oh, yeah.
Building these big followings by sharing their skills and knowledge, right?
Mhm.
Like teaching bushcraft or reviewing gear or even documenting their adventures.
Yeah, it's like the same thing, really.
It is, just with different tools and platforms.
It's all about, offering something valuable.
Yeah.
Solving problems, making life easier or at least more interesting.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got fire down, right?
Right.
But what about fashion?
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Would they even care about fashion back then?
I have no idea.
So let's bring in Mammoth Queen 93,
Okay.
our Stone Age trendsetter.
Yeah.
Forget fast fashion, right?
Yeah.
She's all about rocking the latest animal hides and bone accessories,
Oh, wow.
and maybe even some, early body art.
Really? But
So, practicality was obviously key back then.
right.
But even in the Stone Age, people wanted to express themselves.
I guess so.
Right.
Yeah.
And show off their status a bit.
So this Mammoth Queen 93, she'd be like showing off the most durable clothing.
Yeah, but she'd also be like pushing the boundaries, Like
Okay.
today's fashion influencers who, they sometimes prioritize the look over practicality.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's all about conveying a message,
That makes sense.
crafting an image, a brand, even back then.
Yeah, I see it.
And who else would have had a platform?
Who-
Think Hunt Talk, right?
Hunt Talk.
Yeah, the ultimate food influencer,
Ah, okay.
right? So this is where you go for tips on tracking prey,
Yeah.
making weapons,
Ah,
or even just like, preparing a mammoth steak,
interesting.
right?
Oh.
Sharing secret techniques.
Oh, so like a food blogger, but for hunting and gathering.
Exactly.
I like it.
Right. Establishing yourself as the expert.
Makes sense.
So we're seeing this pattern, right?
Yeah, what is it?
It's not just about having the skills.
Yeah.
It's about, sharing them in a way that
Build a following.
builds a following, establishes authority,
Creates community.
creates community, just like, modern day food bloggers build communities around recipes and experiences.
Yeah, okay, so we've got fire, fashion, food.
Right. But don't forget, humans are also drawn to art,
True.
and stories.
Oh, for sure.
So imagine someone like Cave Canvas.
Cave canvas.
Yeah, the artist, right.
Great.
Creating these stunning cave paintings,
Oh, wow.
sparking all these conversations about what they mean.
I can only imagine the debates back then.
And maybe even, teaching others their techniques.
Yeah, just like you see online today with like art tutorials and stuff.
It's the same idea, right? It's about connecting with people.
Yeah, and inspiring them, making them think differently.
And just like today, you'd have different styles, techniques, maybe even,
Oh, like schools of cave painting.
exactly. Some prefer realism, others, maybe more abstract.
Some use ochre, others berry juice. Right.
Exactly. And of course, there'd be competition and rivalries.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, can you imagine the drama
Oh, totally.
if, one artist accused another one of stealing their style or something?
Yeah, or using like, bad materials or whatever.
Right. It just shows you that, those basic human things,
Yeah.
the desire for recognition,
The drive to create.
and, sometimes conflict.
About drama.
It's all there throughout history.
It is.
But okay, so we've got,
We've got a lot.
fire, fashion, food, art.
Mm-hmm.
But what about, even in the Stone Age?
Yeah.
People wanted to be strong and healthy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Survival and all that.
So let's introduce Pebble Fit Guru.
Pebble Fit Guru.
Yeah, the Stone Age fitness influencer, right?
Yeah.
Think like workout routines involving lifting boulders,
Oh, wow.
sprinting after prey,
Intense.
practicing, spear throwing,
It's like CrossFit, but
but Stone Age style.
exactly.
And just like today, maybe Pebble Fit Guru would offer different, training plans depending on your goals.
Oh, like bulk up for mammoth hunting.
Exactly. Or like get lean for gathering season.
I love it. And, there'd be debates about the best techniques, just like today.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, should you lift that rock 5 times or 10?
Right. Or is it better to hunt in the morning or the evening?
Yeah, exactly. People have always been fascinated by optimizing their performance. you
Oh
know.
yeah, it's human nature.
It is.
And don't forget the merch, right?
Oh, the merch.
I mean, can you imagine like, lift heavy, hunt hard, etched into a rock?
Yeah. Like a Stone Age t-shirt.
Exactly. It would be like the must-have accessory for every, aspiring Stone Age athlete.
I mean, it shows you how, even back then, people wanted to show off what they were into.
Yeah, signal their values and stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got fire, fashion, food, art, fitness.
That's a lot.
But I feel like there's still something missing,
What is it?
What about, that inner world,
Oh.
like mental and emotional well-being?
Okay. Yeah, I get you.
I mean, life in the Stone Age was stressful, right?
I would imagine so, yeah.
So let's introduce Barry Blisbay.
Mary Blisbay.
Yeah, the Stone Age wellness guru.
Okay, so what would that even look like?
Well, think about it. She's advocating for a balanced diet.
Lots of berries, I'm guessing.
Of course, lots of berries, right?
Okay.
But maybe also, she teaches techniques for like mindful rock sitting.
Mindful rock sitting.
Yeah. Or herbal remedies for stress.
Interesting.
Or maybe even leads these, group chanting sessions.
Really?
For emotional harmony.
Wow, so like Stone Age meditation and stuff?
Exactly. It's all about, finding balance.
I mean, that makes sense though, right? People have always looked for ways to manage stress.
Oh, yeah. For sure. It's a human constant, no matter the time period.
I bet there were skeptics though,
Oh,
right?
I'm sure.
Like, does Barry Blisbay really know what she's talking about?
Are
Those herbal remedies really doing anything?
right.
Is this all just a bunch of, nonsense?
It's the same debates we have today,
It is. It is.
And you know what else hasn't changed?
What's that?
Our love of gossip.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right. I mean, no influencer world is complete without...
With a little drama.
Exactly. Without a little spice. Right.
So who's our Stone Age gossip queen?
Let's call her Tribal Tea.
Tribal Tea. I like it.
Right. She's the one with all the juicy stories.
Oh, tell me more.
So it's like, who's wearing fake leopard prints?
Oh, no.
Who's sneaking into rival territory?
Scandalous.
Which couples are on the rocks? Right. It's like
It's like keeping up with the Flintstones.
Stone Age style, right?
I love it.
And it's the same, just like today's gossip bloggers and commentators.
Yeah.
Tribal Tea would have this knack for knowing what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Sharing it in a way that just captivates people.
And maybe stirring up a little controversy along the way.
Oh, for sure.
So how would they spread this gossip? I mean, they didn't have smartphones or anything like that.
That's a great question, right? Think about it.
Yeah.
No smartphones, no internet,
So how do they do it?
but they had, gatherings, word of mouth.
Oh, right, right.
Maybe even early forms of, visual communication.
Like signs and symbols?
Exactly.
That's fascinating.
It shows you that human ingenuity,
Find the way.
finds a way no matter what.
It really makes you appreciate how much effort went into, building a reputation back then.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, they didn't have any of the tools we have today.
Right, but they were dealing with the same, human desires
Yeah.
to connect, to share, to influence, but in a completely different context.
Yeah.
So we've explored fire, fashion, food, art, fitness, wellness, gossip.
It's been a wild ride.
But there's one more influencer archetype I want to introduce.
Oh.
Someone who's all about tech.
Wait, tech. In the Stone Age.
Ah, but that's for part 2.
Okay, you've got me hooked.
You'll have to wait and see.
I can't wait. Okay, so tech in the Stone Age. Spill the beans.
All right. So picture this, right? The Flintfluencer.
The Flintfluencer.
Yeah, the Stone Age tech expert.
Okay, but what kind of tech are we talking about here?
Well, think about it. Technology, it's all about, tools and innovation.
Yeah.
And back then, new tools, they were game changers.
Right. I mean, those tools were essential for survival.
Exactly. So imagine, the Flintfluencer, right? Showing off the latest hand axes,
Okay.
spear points, maybe even new techniques for like napping flints.
So they'd be like the early adopters of today.
Exactly. The ones who, figure out the new gadgets.
Yeah.
And become the experts.
Right.
And think about the social capital, right? I mean, knowing which tools were the best, how to make them, how to use them.
That would be huge.
It would give you a serious edge.
So it's not just about the tools themselves.
Yeah.
It's about the power that comes with that knowledge.
Exactly.
Okay, so the Flintfluencer, they're like the tech guru.
Yeah.
But they can't just, make stuff up.
Right.
They have to prove it.
We got to back it up.
Earn that trust.
Exactly. Just like today, we're bombarded with information, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to know who to believe.
So we look for people who seem,
Trustworthy.
yeah, authentic, the real deal.
And that goes way back.
That's a human thing.
It is. So what do you think made someone a successful influencer back then?
That's a good question.
Like what skills, what traits,
Well, I got to imagine communication would be key.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Being able to explain things clearly. Tell a good story. Connect with people.
Those are timeless skills.
Yeah, for sure. And I'd add adaptability, too.
Oh, interesting. Why?
Well, the Stone Age was, all about change.
Oh, adapting to survive.
Exactly. So those influencers would have to be flexible, innovative,
Oh, okay. I get you.
always ready for something new.
And don't forget courage.
Oh, right. To try new things.
Imagine trying out a new hunting technique.
Yeah.
Or a new weapon.
There'd be real risks.
Oh, yeah, big time.
But without that courage, no progress. Right?
It's that willingness to push boundaries.
It's what we admire in influencers today, too, right?
Yeah, to be bold, to challenge the status quo.
So we've covered fire, fashion, food, art, fitness, wellness, gossip, even tech.
Wow, it's amazing how those roles,
They're all still around.
they just keep popping up.
But there's one thing we're missing.
What's that?
Community.
You got it. I mean, what's influence without a community, right?
It's all about connection, belonging, shared experiences.
And in the Stone Age, community wasn't just, an online thing.
It was everything.
It was your lifeline.
Exactly. So how would these Stone Age influencers build their communities? What do you think?
All right, so we've met our Stone Age influencers, right? Firestarter OG, Mammoth Queen 93,
Hunt Talk, Cave Canvas,
Pebblefit Guru, Barry Bliss Bay,
Tribal Tea.
even the Flintfluencer.
Quite the crew.
But how would they actually build those communities back then? No social media algorithms.
No email lists, nothing like that.
It makes you think,
Ah.
Like back then, community wasn't just some online concept.
Oh, no, it was vital.
Essential for survival, right?
Yeah, your tribe was your lifeline.
Exactly. It gave you protection, support, that sense of belonging,
So building a strong community, it wasn't about, likes and followers.
Right. It was about strengthening the bonds that held everyone together.
Exactly.
So how would they do that? Any ideas?
Well, I'm thinking storytelling, right?
Oh, yeah. Good one.
Imagine, an elder sharing stories of the hunt or like warnings about dangerous animals.
Oh, yeah.
It would be entertaining, but also, passing on crucial knowledge.
Right. Reinforcing those shared values.
And think about Cave Canvas's art, right?
Oh, yeah.
Gathering around a fire.
Discussing the meaning of those paintings.
Creating that shared experience, that sense of wonder.
It's about, those rituals and traditions.
Yeah, that bring people together.
Like a celebratory dance after a successful hunt with Hunt Talk.
Or maybe, a group meditation with Barry Blissbay.
Oh, yeah.
Strengthening those bonds, creating unity.
And tribal tea, right? She'd be right there in the middle of it all.
Oh, absolutely. Spreading the latest gossip.
Whispering about who's wearing fake leopard print, right?
It's all part of it. Creating those in-groups, those out-groups.
It's human nature.
It is.
So it seems like these Stone Age influencers,
Yeah.
they had a lot of responsibility.
Oh, for sure.
It wasn't just about entertaining.
No, they were shaping the culture, the values.
Just think about Firestarter OG.
Yeah.
Their knowledge wasn't just, some fun fact.
It was literally keeping people alive.
So what about, the challenges? Was it all easy back then?
I doubt it, right? I mean, just like today,
Yeah.
there'd be competition, jealousy.
Maybe even people trying to, undermine them.
Oh, yeah. Imagine like a rival hunter challenging Hunt Talk.
Oh, yeah. Or another artist saying, Cave Canvas is a hack.
Right. And the pressure to stay authentic.
Oh, I bet.
Mammoth Queen 93 always having to have the newest outfit.
The Flinfluencer always having to, invent a new tool.
It's the same pressure you see today, right?
To be relevant.
To keep creating new content.
So what do you think we can learn from all this? Like from these Stone Age influencers?
I think it reminds us, influence, it's really about human connection.
Yeah.
Building trust, sharing creating that sense of community.
And being authentic, right. I mean, they didn't have filters or, curated online personas.
It was all real.
So maybe, that's a good reminder for us.
To be ourselves, to be genuine.
Exactly, because real influence, it comes from, being real.
And it makes you think, right?
About who we trust, who we follow.
In the Stone Age, believing the wrong person?
Ooh, that could be bad news.
Big time.
It's a good reminder to, be a little critical.
Think about the source.
And their motives, right?
Yeah, because in the end, we're all social creatures, right?
Right, crave that connection.
It's how we're wired.
Whether it's, fire in the Stone Age.
Or an online community today.
It's fundamental.
Yeah.
So as we navigate this, digital world.
Yeah.
It's good to remember those Stone Age lessons.
Those basic principles.
Authenticity, trust, community, sharing knowledge.
They're timeless.
And maybe, by looking back,
Yeah.
we can create a better online experience,
More meaningful, more genuine.
That's a great thought to end on.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the Stone Age.
This has been fun.
And to our listeners, until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.